broad shoulders. At first glance, nothing about him stood out, but then Vinick glimpsed something peeking from underneath his crisply starched jacket. It was a gun. The man gripped his elbow harder. "Professor, come with me." His gray eyes were steely, and it wasn't a question this time. "But where are you taking me?" Vinick managed, feeling the crush of the crowd pressing in on them, struggling toward the exits. The man lowered his voice. "Professor, I'm not at liberty to divulge that information. All I'm authorized to say is that it concerns a matter of national security." "And if I refuse?" Vinick asked as the crowd streamed around them, oblivious to the espionage taking place in their midst. He wondered how many other agents were strategically placed in the crowd watching them. "What about the banquet?" "I have permission to take you by force," the man said without hesitation. His hand slipped inside his jacket. Vinick saw the flash of a hypodermic needle. "Though I hope that does not become necessary. The choice is yours, Professor." Vinick elected to go with the man, his award still tucked under his arm, but mostly forgotten. They moved swiftly through the dispersing crowd, the hum and thrum of upbeat chatter chasing them out of the hall and into the dark Stockholm streets. Rain splattered down from the sky in thick droplets. Vinick exhaled, and his breath came out in smoky tendrils. He could taste snow in the air. The rain would change over soon. Though it was only early evening, it felt like midnight, the sun having set well before 2:00. December in Stockholm was a special kind of winter that put even his home of Cambridge, Massachusetts, to shame. Why they chose to hold the ceremony in the dead of winter seemed counterintuitive, but he knew that it was held on the anniversary of Alfred Nobel's death, the founder of the prize that he now gripped under his arm. A black Mercedes sped up to the curb and screeched to a halt, kicking up a puddle. "This way, Professor," the man said, jerking open the door to the back seat. It was only as Vinick climbed inside that he realized his shiny black shoes, Ferragamos, newly purchased for this occasion, had been soaked through with the frigid water. Thump! The man climbed in after him and slammed the door, and the car raced off into the bitter December night. On closer inspection, he saw that the car was armored with reinforced glass. "Now, can you tell me where we're going?" Vinick asked. The man didn't reply. He just stared back with those gray eyes. "How about your name? You seem to know mine." Still nothing. Vinick gave up and slumped in his seat. The man pulled out a handheld and scanned the screen, keyed in a message, and returned it to his inside coat pocket. Vinick sighed in annoyance, but the man didn't appear to care. He wished he could slip off his shoes, or at the very least strip off his sodden socks. But his unease kept him locked in place as his feet gradually went numb. 1,000 scenarios flashed through his head. What could they possibly want with him? Had he unknowingly committed some crime, smuggled something through the airport that wasn't allowed? Did they suspect him of being a terrorist or a political agitator of some sort? But that seemed far-fetched. He was only a scientist. Hell, he didn't even follow politics. Maybe it was a case of mistaken identity? He'd seen that happen once in an action movie when he was a kid. The main character was an ordinary man forced to go on the run after the government confused him with a terrorist. Regardless, Vinick was certain the situation would be cleared up quickly, and he'd soon be at the banquet, sipping champagne and feasting with his fellow Nobel laureates. That thought reassured him. He sank down into the plush leather seat, hugging his prize like a security blanket. About 15 minutes later, they skidded to a halt in front of an abandoned building on the outskirts of the city. Vinick peered through the window, flexing his feet to return some blood flow. It was fully snowing now, dusting the ground and frosting the rooftops of the derelict buildings that lined the potholed street. "What are we doing here?" Vinick took one look at the man and knew it would be an exercise in futility to ask him. The man ushered him from the vehicle and through the front door, passing more men.